I throw myself on Jimin's bed and close my eyes. He watches me and laughs. What's wrong? I ignore him and rub my temple. The alcohol was finally getting to me and I was losing my senses. Jimin and I had been drinking all night because it was Friday night and we had nothing better to do. Is this what it's like to be drunk? I sit up and look at Jimin, who's just laying on the floor and chugging whiskey. He looks at me and starts giggling and laughing like a little kid. I look at him and chat. You're so drunk. Jimin nods and continues to drink even more. I try and take a glass away from him before he makes himself pass out. Your boyfriend is going to kill me. Jimin wins and reaches for the glass. Yoongi will be fine. He won't even find out. He snatches the cup from my hand and chucks it until it's completely empty. I watch and cross my arms over my chest. I was trying to act responsible, but I knew I was just as drunk as him. What if your brother finds out? Jungkook will tell Yoongi. My heart flutters when Jungkook's name leaves my mouth. He was Jimin's older brother, and I have had a crush on him for as long as I can remember. Everything about him is perfect. His lips, his eyes, his pale skin, his gorgeous and soft hair. All of him is beautiful and perfect. Then, Jungkook is an asshole, if he does. He takes another sip and I know he's completely wasted. He never curses or talks about his brother that way, and he always obeys him because Jungkook is extremely overprotective of his little brother. I'm a what? A deep voice speaks and my eyes widen. I quickly look over to the door and my heart starts beating faster when I realize Jungkook is standing there. He looks beyond pissed that his brother is drunk and on the floor. Jimin, how much did you drink? Jimin doesn't respond and that only makes Jungkook angrier. He picks Jimin up and sets him onto the bed, tucking him in. Don't get up, go to sleep. Jimin wins, but Jungkook glares at him, giving him a look that would make anyone go silent. Jimin nods slowly and immediately passes out as soon as he closes his eyes. Jungkook turns to me and I can see the anger in his eyes. I look away and avoid his eye contact, but it doesn't relieve any of the tension from the room. How could you let him drink so much? I swallow hard and stay silent. Jungkook walks towards me and grabs my chin roughly, making me look at him. I look at him and he takes a deep breath and sighs. You smell like alcohol too. I nod slowly. My heart was ready to burst out of my chest. How fast it was beating. We drank together. I whisper quietly and Jungkook sighs again. He puts his arm under me and picks me up in a bridal style. What are you doing? I blush really hard as he carries me to his room. I can't let you go home like this. He speaks firmly as he sets me down on his bed. He begins to lift my shirt off, but I stop him. He rolls his eyes and clicks his tongue in annoyance. Relax, I'm not going to take advantage of you while you're drunk. I nod slowly and he lifts my shirt off me. I wrap my arms around myself once I feel the cold air hit my skin. Lift your arms up. His voice stays cold as he puts his own shirt on me. After he helps me change my clothes so I don't smell like alcohol. He tucks me into his bed and makes sure I'm comfortable. I'll be downstairs on the couch if you need me. He turns the lights off and begins to leave, but I stopped him. Jungkook, I whisper yeah, but it was loud enough for him to hear. He looks at me and I felt all the confidence leave my body. I just stared back at him, not knowing what to say. What? His voice was just cold as before. You can sleep with me, I whisper. He looks at me and thinks for a moment before coming back inside the room and closing the door behind him. I feel the familiar feeling of butterflies in my stomach as he climbs into the bed next to me. He looks at me and thinks for a moment before coming back inside the room and closing the door behind him. I feel the familiar feeling of butterflies in my stomach as he climbs onto the bed next to me. He pulls me against him and I cuddle into him. I blush hard as he holds me tightly in his arms. After a few moments of silence, I decide to talk to break the silence. Jungkook, there is something I've been wanting to tell you. He hums in response, letting me know to continue. I like you, and I have really liked you for a while now. He opens his eyes and looks at me. He seems surprised and happy. You do? His voice was the same as before, but it was a little bit softer. He leans closer to me until our lips were only inches apart. Are you sure you like me, Yone? I nod quickly and close my eyes, waiting for our lips to touch. But I never feel his warm lips on mine. I open my eyes and frown as he lays down and pulls the covers over himself. So that's it. You're rejecting me. I fight hard to keep the tears in my eyes and seem unaffected, but my voice comes out weak. I felt my whole world crashing down on me. I'm not rejecting you. I actually like you too. He speaks confidently and softly as he pulls me into his embrace and wipes the tears that escape my eyes. Then, why didn't you kiss me? I sniffle as more tears run down my face because you're drunk and I don't want to take advantage of you. He kisses my head gently and continues to wipe the tears from my eyes. I want you to be completely aware of what you're doing. He smiles softly and moves my hair out of my face. I'm aware of what I'm doing and I know what I want. I raise my voice a little, offended that he thinks I'm too drunk to know what's going on. I place myself on his lap and begin moving over his clothing.
I see the constellations. They remind me that this life cannot be lost forever. I watch my generation. It's so